Hello, and welcome to this workshop on how to get your nutrition on track and stay on track forever. It's such, nutrition is knowing what to do for nutrition and getting on track is one thing, but what people tell me is really hard is that staying on track, they're always falling off track. And that's what we're going to focus on in this workshop today, because the only way to get results in your health and your fitness is to keep your nutrition on track. Your nutrition is just a key factor. And if you're working out really hard, but you're struggling with that nutrition, it's like you've got one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake, and you're not really going anywhere. You're not really making the gains that you could. And when we can get your nutrition on track and set you up to stay on track, despite whatever life throws at you, this is how you're going to end your cravings, increase your energy, permanently lose stubborn body fat all over, and end the constant food struggle. And I'm going to teach you how to do that without relying on willpower, restrictions, or counting calories. Okay. Now, before we dive in, I have a lot to share with you today. I just want to make sure that you know that this workshop is right for you, because it is going to be about 90 minutes of tons of information. And I really don't want to waste your time if this workshop is not for you. Okay. So this workshop, you are in the right place if you are struggling to stay on track with your nutrition. Maybe you know what to do, but you can't do it. Maybe you don't know what to do and you don't know what, and you can't do it. So either way, the key is that you can't stay on track with it. Something's always throwing you off. Okay. The session's for you if you know that nutrition is important, but you just can't get it together. This is for you if you are deeply struggling with food, if you have a complicated relationship with food and your body, if you are deeply struggling with your body. This is for you if you have been dieting, restricting, and falling off track over and over again, still struggling with food. Okay, women work with me, have been dieting for decades, and it works a little bit and then it doesn't work. It works a little bit and they fall off track. This is workshops for you if you feel like you have no discipline or no control over food. If you're emotionally eating at night, emotionally eating to control emotions and stress, if you're overeating in the afternoons without an off switch and you just can't stop it, okay, this is for you. This is for you if you get overwhelmed or anxious at the thought of food or prepping ahead. Okay, this is for you if you're starting to get worried about your health. You know that you need to lose some weight. You know that you have to get your nutrition on track, but you just can't seem to do it. This is for you if you're ready to talk beyond just diets and restrictions. This is for you if you want to know confidently how to nourish your body right, how to end cravings, how to increase your energy, how to lose weight permanently, and if you want to learn how to end the food and body struggle. And the session is for you if you're willing to look at yourself, to study yourself, to have deeper conversations about nutrition, and if you're ready to learn new things so that you can figure this out. This is not going to be the same old nutrition workshop where I just give you a list of bad foods and a list of good foods and tell you just to go off with that. That's not, you've done that before. That doesn't work. It might work for a short time, but it doesn't work for the long term. And I want to help you break that cycle so that you can actually get on track and stay on track. And again, end that food struggle, because when you're struggling with nutrition on track and off track, and when you're struggling with weight in your body, you tend to struggle in all the areas of your life. And I know that because I've worked with thousands of women. And so does that sound like you? If yes, then stay with me. And if no, then maybe I have a different workshop for you, but it's not going to be this one. And that's okay. I only want people who this is going to benefit to watch, okay? Because I don't want to waste your time, just like you don't want to have your time wasted. And if this is you and you're going to continue on with me in this workshop, I want you to know that I totally get it. Women come to me wanting to get fit, lean, and strong, but struggling with nutrition. They're either working out a ton and struggling with nutrition, or they're not working out and they're struggling with nutrition. So either way, nutrition is like this common denominator that women struggle with. And when I ask on my page, I have a Facebook page of 42,000 female runners. And when I ask the question, what's harder, nutrition or workouts, it's like 99% of 99% of the answers are nutrition. Women are struggling with nutrition. Okay. cravings, nighttime overeating, weight gain, weight loss resistance, especially in the midsection. Women are confused about what to eat, about how to eat. They're falling off track again and again. They're frustrated, they're feeling hopeless, and they're hating their body. They're exhausted, they're irritable, they're moody, and many feel like they're on the edge of a nervous breakdown. And it's like they tell me often, like, I know what to do, but I'm just not doing it. And then it creates this really difficult relationship even with themselves. It's like they don't trust themselves and they blame themselves and they feel guilty and shameful, and all this stuff comes up. Like, why can't I just do it? Right? It's really a frustrating place to be when you're struggling with your nutrition. And then the other thing that women struggle with is that they just don't know. They're confused. There's so much conflicting information that they just don't know what to do. And then they don't do anything. And that's just as frustrating. Not knowing what to do, not being confident in how to nourish your body. Okay. And then worrying about your health as the weight creeps up, right? I hear that so much in the midlife women that find me. And, what's happening is your fat storing, fat burning, and hunger hormones are out of whack. Metabolism has slowed down. And women know that getting their nutrition on track is important, but they just can't do it. Like, I get that. Women come to me all the time for that. And if that sounds like you, like, yeah, that sounds like me. I know that this is a recorded training. So just send me a message, keep some notes, get a paper and write down some notes and take a picture and send it to me after. I'd love to read your notes and just hear from you about what your takeaways were and what your aha moments are. But if any of this sounds like you, like, just pretend we're here live together and say, yes, Carrie, that sounds like me. And I don't want you to be shy or awkward, because you're not alone. So many women are struggling with this stuff. And what happens is we start freaking out, right? The scale is going up. My clothes aren't fitting. My nutrition has to get back on track. We kind of hit that rock bottom place and we get really sick of ourselves and we start freaking out, right? So we go to Google. Okay, how do I lose weight, right? I want to lose weight fast. And Google tells us to eat less, restrict, cut, count, fast, do keto, Whole30, blah, 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 all the things, right? Eat less, exercise more. The doctor says that too, right? Eat less, exercise more. It's calories in, calories out, ladies. Just control yourselves. And so you sign up for the next nutrition challenge or fitness challenge or marathon, and you set a big goal. And then all the mantras from the fitness world come in, right? Like, go hard or go home. Don't wish for it, work for it, go all in, do it perfectly. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. And you believe that you need more willpower just to be more disciplined. And that's what the coaches and all these programs are telling you. Just count your calories and control yourself and have more willpower and just be more disciplined. And you start taking massive action. You're in hustle mode, right? Hustle mode. Here we go. Sorry, let me plug my computer in here. Right? You're coming in hot. You're ready to go. You are pumped. You are motivated to do this, to make changes. You're eating healthy. You're working out. And then you burn out. Right? We're on track. Now we're off track. Right? And I call this the hustle diet cycle, right? We're off track. We're gaining weight. We're frustrated. We get sick of ourselves. So we decide it's time to take control. We get really motivated. We sign up for the program. We're ready to restrict. We got MyFitnessPal. We're counting. We got our custom macros, and we sign up for the challenge, and we're ramping up our workouts. We're hustling. We are going all in. We are going to do this perfectly. And this is it. We're just going to do it this time. No excuses. But then you get a little tired. Life happens. You miss a day or two, right? Some big emotions. You eat something off plan. You don't really see the changes in your body you had hoped for within the first few weeks. You get hungry, and then you end up binge eating. You quit the workouts. That negative voice in your head creeps in. You go back to your old habits and you fall all out, right? You fall off track. And then that triggers the guilt, the shame, the frustration, the feeling like a failure, like you were the problem, right? You feel defeated, pointless. If you only had more willpower and discipline, it leaves you scared of food and hating your body. And it's just a lot of drama in this cycle. And when we do this cycle, all in, all out, all in, all out, we do it over and over again. What actually happens is that we're downgrading our metabolism. We're triggering systemic inflammation. We're causing hormone dysregulation, and that's leading to hormonal fat storage, exhaustion, frustration, drama, and a toxic relationship with food, exercise, your body, and yourself. Does that cycle look familiar? It should look familiar if you're on this workshop. If that is familiar, that's who I'm talking to. Okay, we're all in, we're all out. And just looking at it from there, can you see how that could be where you might be stuck, right? The all in, the all out. Okay, again, yes, Carrie, that's me. That's what I'm doing, and I'm stuck. Okay. And before I tell you how to fix it, I want you to understand a little bit about this cycle, because this cycle is really wreaking havoc on your body and your mind, which is making it hard for you to stay on track with your nutrition and get the results you really want. It's making nutrition feel a whole lot harder than it has to be. And I call this the hustle diet roller coaster, right? You're on, you're off, your emotions are everywhere. And like the food is, it's all over the place. Okay. And your body hates to be on a roller coaster. Your body really hates to be on this roller coaster. And for women over 40, your body really hates to be on this roller coaster. It really hates to be on this roller coaster. Your body is much more sensitive to stress and inflammation over 40. Our hormones are shifting, estrogen and progesterone are going down, and our body is not as resilient as it used to be. That cycle worked for us in our 20s. It doesn't work for us over 40 anymore. And it's because our body is just like, I'm not covering for you anymore. This is really hard on me. It's very stressful, and I don't have the resiliency anymore. And so that's it. It leads to like even more of, like I said, it leads to that inflammation and hormonal dysregulation, which leads to hormonal fat storage. And when we're restricting heavily, we're actually losing muscle, which is declining our metabolism, which is already declining as we're getting older. This just triggers it to decline even more and gives us, it's just so hard on our system, this cycle. Okay, what our body loves is balance. As people, we are not good at balance. Fitness culture doesn't teach us balance. It teaches us restriction. It teaches us extremes. But your body functions best here. Your body wants to feel safe. And your body feels safe when it's in balance. Okay. And so your body prefers and functions best when it's kind of, to compare it, not the roller coaster, but on riding on it as a sailboat on a gentle wave, on a calm ocean. Okay, you can even feel the energy difference of like, I'm on the diet and I'm off the diet and I'm on track and I'm on track versus, yeah, I'm just living right here in balance, right? But balance, like I said, is a really hard skill to master. What does that even mean? Okay, I'm going to teach you that, so stay with me. But I want you to understand that every time you hop on another restrictive diet, like I talked about, where you eat as little as possible, you cut out all the carbs and all the things, and you lose scale weight quickly, but not in your midsection, and you don't lean out and feel freaking incredible in your body. And then you fall off track and you gain it all back, plus some, because you can't keep it up. You further increase stress, inflammation, hormone chaos, and you decrease metabolic function, making every similar attempt harder and harder. And this is where this cycle is really tricky, because you're like, well, it worked before, but then I couldn't keep it up and I failed the diet. And that just keeps you going back to it. It's like an abusive partner, right? It's your fault that this is happening. And then it's like being in an abusive relationship, like, oh, I really love you. And then, oh, you're the problem, and all this negative stuff. Right. And that was a bad analogy and probably a little bit inappropriate. I apologize, but it is like that. That's what the diet cycle is like. It's like, well, I think it's working. I think it worked. It worked a bit, but then it didn't work. And I'm the problem. And I'm so bad. I don't have the willpower, when the problem isn't you. The problem is that strategy of extreme restriction, because it's not sustainable. It's not what your body needs. Okay, I hope that made sense. Approaching nutrition like this creates an all in, all out like mindset. So it's like you're just reinforcing every time we do this, that all in, all out mindset. And I see this in my clients all the time. It perpetuates this idea of perfectionism, and you've got to do it perfect or just forget it, you're failing, right? It creates self-blame, right? It makes you feel like you're the problem. It doesn't teach you anything. It doesn't nourish you. It just tells you to restrict. It's unsustainable. It sets you up with unrealistic expectations, and it sets you up to fail, and it blames you for failing when the diet that you're following, the excessive restrictiveness of that strategy to get your nutrition on track is the problem. Okay, it ends up creating a bad relationship with food, with your body, and with yourself. And it creates this relationship where you don't believe in yourself and you stay stuck. And then new opportunities come, like the Deeply Nourished program that I teach. And women always say, but Carrie, I've tried so many things and it hasn't worked. I don't think I can do your program. It's just going to be the same. I'm going to fail again. And I'm like, but my program is very different. I understand why you failed so many times, because we've done this approach over and over again. Your brain likes that approach, but it doesn't work. And it's not your fault. But I do need you to understand that that strategy doesn't work, but you think it works because no one's ever told you any different. Nutrition's off track. You got to be really excessive and cut out all the things to be on track, right? Restrict all the things, count and track every bite. You need more discipline and willpower. You need to join a challenge. You need to join an accountability group. You need more meal plans and recipes to stick to perfectly. You need to set big goals, right? And lose 20 pounds in 30 days. But all the things that you thought worked, that everyone's telling you work, and that might work for a short time, but you can't keep up with, they actually don't work. And they're actually part of the problem and the reason that you're stuck. And that's why you stay stuck, you know? And I see women doing this to themselves for decades. They're stuck, they're struggling, and they're just more and more frustrated with themselves. Hands up if this sounds familiar. Okay, you are not alone. And I'm here to change this for you. Before we move into the content of the workshop, I'm going to teach you my 5 vital strategies to getting your nutrition on track and keeping it on track. I want to just take a compassion pause, because I know nutrition is heavy work. The way I teach nutrition can be heavy, because I get to the real root of what the problem is and where the struggle is. And I do that intentionally because I want to help you get out of that cycle and do things differently in a way that you can sustain, and in a way that's going to get you completely different results than you've ever got before. But I need you to take a compassionate pause. It's not your fault if you've been stuck in this cycle. That's what everyone's been telling you to do. Just get in control, have more willpower, be more disciplined, just eat less, exercise more. It's your fault. And it's not your fault. Okay. Don't panic, because that's why I'm doing this. There's so much that you can do once you understand where you're going wrong. Okay, that's why I wanted to really talk about that, because if you're stuck in that pattern, you need to understand that we must get out of that pattern to get you on track and keep you on track. And we have to understand how hard that is on your physiology, because your body really dislikes all in, all out. It really dislikes, very stressful on the system, and a stress system and an inflamed system. And that triggers fat storage. And a lot of women say, well, Carrie, I'm hardly eating. I'm eating clean. I'm hardly eating. I'm working out, but I'm still feeling terrible. And often it's because we're hardly eating and then we overeat, right? We're hardly eating, we've decreased metabolism, and then we can't keep that up, and then we end up overeating. It doesn't have to be a daily overeating. It can just be that binge eating once in a while that really, your body just hates it. You've got to get balance. You've got to get into balance. Your body hates chaos. It likes balance. And that's what I'm going to teach you. That's what I love teaching. And the other reality is you can't run off a bad diet. So I used to, binge eat at night every night, and then run 10K every morning, training fasted, and then skip my lunch every day. I was trying to run off my bad diet. I thought that if I ran and then I yeah, you can't run off a bad diet. It catches up with you. And you just can't. Okay. So the goal of our time together, and you don't want to run off a bad diet. Like what you eat is what you process, which is what becomes you, right? Like food is fuel. Food is what nourishes every single cell in your body. And we don't want to try run it off. One thing I really work with my clients is to move from this place of restricting yourself and restricting your body of food and seeing food as a bad thing and the enemy, to seeing food as something that fuels your body, that becomes your skin and your hair and fuels your muscles for your workouts. Food is fuel. Food is amazing. And it matters. It matters a lot. And we can't run off a bad diet. And we shouldn't want to run off a bad diet. And in this workshop, and in all my coaching programs, I want nutrition to feel easy for you guys. I want to take the mystery and the confusion out of nutrition and make it feel fun and simple and easy and possible, sustainable, enjoyable. I want you to be confident in what your body needs to function well. I want you to be confident in how to eat and how to nourish. And I want you to know that like what you're doing is effective. Okay. And I want you to learn nutrition without the drama, chaos, crazy restrictions, or counting. Don't think any of that is necessary. I don't deal with any of that in my nutrition. And life is about more than struggling with nutrition. And I know so many are really struggling with nutrition. It kind of takes over so much of your life. Okay. And there's a lot more things that we want to do with our time than struggle with food. But it does take some time to learn. So we can't skip the learning. Okay. It takes some time to learn and work on it before it becomes easy. So it's often hard before it gets better. Okay. That's normal. It's necessary. So my promise today is that I want to help you get off the roller coaster and instead have you sailing easy breezy on the gentle waves when it comes to nutrition. I want to set you up with everything you need to confidently get your nutrition on track in a sustainable way so that you can stay on track with ease, end all the struggling, and actually hit your health and fitness goals. I want you to have 2 feet on the gas. Workouts are going strong and you are nourishing your body confidently and properly. And this training is going to be unique and different, which you already might have noticed that from other nutrition trainings where they just tell you this is a list of bad foods and this is a list of good foods. And in our time together, you're going to spend 30 days only eating the good foods. You're going to track every bite in this for the whole month, and you're going to eat under 1,200 calories and you're going to get your nutrition on track. And if you don't do that, you're going to start again because you failed. We're not going to do that. That's not how I teach nutrition. That's not how I live. It's not a way that I would want to live. So this training is going to be very unique and different because I have worked with thousands of women over the last 10 years. I've listened deeply. I've worked closely and I've studied a lot. Okay. And I know where you guys are stuck. I know what's not working. I know what does work. I know where you get stuck along the way. And I know how to get you unstuck. I know a lot besides just the textbook. And I mean, in the textbook, sure, right? Textbook theory, nutrition is do this, except there's stacks of books written, right? Stacks of books written on nutrition. There's so many books. We know what to do. It's all out there, but we don't do it. And that's what really is the focus of this, is how do we simplify nutrition? Because nutrition is really simple. But then how do we stay on track? That's the complicated part. That's the deep work that we all must do. So this training is different because it's that combination of like textbook theory, but also the experience I have of working with thousands of women struggling deeply with food, that you can't really find the answers to that in a textbook. No one's Googling the stuff that I'm going to teach you today. Okay. I want you to be an action taker. Again, this is a recording, but I want you to take notes. I want you to take a picture of that and send it to me after. Let me know what your notes were, or at least send me a message after and tell me your biggest takeaways. And as I go through this, do the things I asked you to do. Get pen to paper that will really help you really take what I'm teaching you and like bring it more to life. Okay. I don't just want this to be more information that you never use. I want this to begin to rewire your brain to get yourself on track with nutrition. Okay. Who am I to teach you this stuff? I'm Carrie Adam, if we haven't met. I am a physical therapist by trade, a nutrition coach, a mindset coach, a life coach. I've been working for almost 20 years in the health and fitness space, and I've worked with thousands of women in health and fitness, and I know the nutrition struggle with them deeply. And I know that the consistency has always been the hardest part for people. Like, I can assess and diagnose and give you a treatment plan, and I would get frustrated because people wouldn't do it, right? They wouldn't do the plan. The strategies, I've always said, like, taking care of your body and building a fit, strong, healthy body is not rocket science. It's simple, but no one's doing it. Right. And I've been working for the last 10 years with women and really studying this. Like, why is this happening? And why do I not struggle? Right. Like, I don't struggle with food. There was a period of time, which is a story for another day, where I did struggle, but generally I don't struggle. I don't want to pretend I have this big story of like, I went from 200 pounds to 130, because I don't, but I'm always consistent. I know what to do and I do it with consistency. And I'm like, I can teach people what to do, but they're not doing it with consistency. And so I've been studying how to change behavior in people for so long, because I don't just want to teach you information that you never use. I want to teach you guys information, help you implement so that you actually get results that last, and so that you don't have to think about food and workouts. I don't think about food and workouts. It's easy for me. It's simple. And I have lots of brain space and energy left to do the other things in my life. And I know that women don't. They are consumed with hating their body. They're consumed with nutrition and eating and hunger and what to eat and what not to eat. And it consumes them in a very negative way. And they don't have the energy to do the other things in their life. And that sucks. I've worked with women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, all struggling for decades with food in their body. And I've been like determined to figure this out for people. And so I've studied high performance habits and habit change, and the psychology or the physiology of the neuroscience of breaking bad habits. And I put all these things together. Nothing was sticking for people. And one day I was in I also study life coaching, and I was in my car and I was listening to a podcast from one of my favorite mentors. And she was talking about how people's brains are wired differently. And 95% of your day is run on subconscious programming that you've developed over years. So from your childhood, things that have been on repeat forever. And that's just how your brain is running. And I thought, oh my God, this is the missing piece. And actually, I pulled my truck over and I started bawling, because I'm like, this is the missing piece of the puzzle for me. I can teach self-discipline. I can teach how to build healthy habits. I can teach how to break bad habits. But they're still running 95% of their days on this subconscious programming that they've developed through the process of their life. And my life, I wasn't raised in diets and struggling with nutrition. I have degrees in health and fitness and medical rehab. And like, I worked in hospitals and I saw people really sick, and that taught me so much about taking care of my body. So my brain is wired to take care of my body, that food is fuel and nourishing. My brain is wired for, I always say I have a fitter, leaner, stronger brain, because of my upbringing, because of my life's journey. And the women that I see struggling have a very different life journey. They have a very different subconscious pattern in their brain. And if I want to truly help them change and stay on track, I can't just teach them about the food, because 95% of the day, they are running subconscious programming that tells them that they can't do it, that they struggle, that food is hard, that food is complicated, that they eat every time they have big emotions. And like, that's why they always go back to the old habits, because it's subconscious. They're not even thinking about it. That's the way their brain is wired. And I was like, oh my God, I have to rewire their brain. Which leads me to like bring this all together, is that this dieting cycle, it's setting you up for failure, but you're doing it on autopilot because of your current subconscious program that's running. I don't have that subconscious program. That's why I'm different. That's why I don't struggle and you do. And so if I want to help my clients not struggle with nutrition, I have to teach them nutrition, but then I also need to rewire their brains. I have to change that subconscious programming. And you can change that subconscious program, but you have to work on it. And that was the missing piece for me. And so like my big revelation from all this is that combining a simple but effective macro balanced anti-inflammatory nutrition protocol with next level emotional mastery, mindfulness, and subconscious reprogramming work is the most effective way to get your nutrition on track and keep it on track so that you can truly build the fit, lean, strong, and healthy body you want. You see, women want to be fit, lean, strong, and healthy. They want to get their nutrition on track, but they can't stay on track because they're subconscious programs. I hope that makes sense. And your subconscious programming is different than my subconscious programming. And when I heard her talk about that, I was like, my brain is wired differently. That's why I am the way I am. Because I've always like, why am I the way I am? I don't do anything extraordinary. I don't work out for hours. I don't run ultra marathons. I don't cut carbs. I don't do anything. I just eat regular food and in balance. I enjoy treats, not too much. I eat mostly real food, not all. Like there's nothing special about what I do. I'm just consistent and it's easy for me. And this is why subconscious reprogramming. And so that's what I'm going to teach you guys. That's how you get your nutrition on track. I'm going to teach you macros, the macro balance method. But then we have to talk about how to be consistent. And that comes into the subconscious reprogramming, the emotional mindfulness work. It all comes in, okay? So getting your nutrition on track is only 20% about the food, right? And this is where we get stuck. We're focused on the counting and the tracking and the macros and the balancing and the calories and the foods and the inflammatory foods and what to restrict and what to eat. That's the food. We focus all of our attention on that, but that's only 20% of the puzzle, and we can't stick to it. Getting your nutrition on track is 80% other things that you don't know right now, which is why you are stuck in that cycle. You just don't know what the other 80% is. All your brain knows is restrict, get back on track. But then you go back to those old programs and you fall off track and you go back to the old habits, right? That's what's going on. 80% of the skills that you need to get your nutrition on track is not what you're looking for. It's not what you're looking to work on when you're struggling with food. And you just always go back to what your brain knows. Restriction, 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 beating yourself up, restriction, beating yourself up, right? And it's not working. That's what these women were doing. And then they joined me and worked through with my subconscious reprogramming work and the Deeply Nourished method. And they got extremely different results. And these are results that are lasting. They're not on again, off again results. My clients don't go on again, off again. They just go on. I mean, yes, there's small blips, but generally it's not big because we've built consistency in, okay? And so the 5 key strategies, let's dive into them. And keep in mind, these are all to help you get on track, to help you stay on track. And it includes the macro balance anti-inflammatory nutrition strategies, but then the subconscious reprogramming, the mindfulness, the emotional mastery. That's all a piece of all of these pieces. So the first one is that you have to get to know yourself. So this is where we bring in this frontal cortex of your brain. A lot of people are like, oh my God, I'm gaining weight. I need to get back on track. And they just go for the restrictive diet. They don't really think about why. Hold on. Okay. I need to get my nutrition on track. My weight is going up. I'm worried about my health. My doctor says my blood pressure is up. My cholesterol's up. My triglycerides are up. My sugars are up. What's going on for me? Why do I need to work on this? And I think that knowing your why, there's 2 parts to this. Knowing your why is really important because knowing your why, it's a frontal cortex skill, which gets you out of that autopilot of, I just have to go and do the diet. You want to think about it, slow down and pause, be more mindful, right? And a few stats to just help you. Because we all know nutrition is important, but do you really know? Like, I really know, again, this is where my brain is wired differently. I've seen people at the end stages of life. I've been the first person to help get someone who's had a diabetic amputation up and learning to walk with crutches on one leg, or be fit with a prosthetic limb, learning to walk on a prosthetic leg. I've worked in open heart surgery and acute stroke rehab and acute stroke care and then rehab later. And I've just seen a different side of life than most people have. And I take it, I'm very empathetic. So I like really feel the pain of people and I really feel the struggle. And what I took from that was like, you only have one body. And we have to take care of this body. And I know my why is so deep for my nutrition that's what's created the patterns in my brain. And so when I eat, I always want to nourish my body. And I always just naturally choose nourishing my body, even when life is crazy and emotions are wild and we're on holidays. I don't fall off track because that's just the way my brain is wired. And that's very unusual. But it's because I live a lot of my life using this frontal cortex. I don't spend, I have my brain is wired differently. And that's what I want to help you guys with. So this is going to help because I want you guys to understand this, right? This helps you bring in this frontal cortex and get it working, turn it on. This is how you get out of that autopilot and you begin the rewiring process. So stay with me and do this, okay? So a few stats. There's an estimate that 82% of the population, the US population, is metabolically unhealthy, with greater than 70% being overweight or obese and greater than 50% with prediabetes or diabetes. Metabolic syndrome is a cluster of conditions that includes increased blood pressure, high blood sugars, excess body fat around the waist, and abnormal cholesterol and triglyceride levels. Having one or more of the conditions of metabolic syndrome is known to increase your risk of diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Poor metabolic health is the root of most chronic diseases. What you put in your mouth over the years really does dictate how you live and die. Obesity, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, high blood pressure, fatty liver disease, autoimmune disease, mental health disease, and all the complications that go along with those. And again, you guys don't know the complications that go along with those unless you work in healthcare. I do. I'm still working through the trauma of working 10 years straight out of university, thinking I was going into health to take care of people and make them better. And the traumas that I encountered working on the wards changed me and really wired my brain. But you guys don't understand that. But they all of these have the same denominator, poor nutrition. And it's no one's fault. Some of it's genetics, but a lot of it is like people just didn't know. These people didn't know what was going to happen down the line when they turned 60, 70, 80, when they didn't take care of their bodies. They didn't know. It wasn't their fault because they didn't know. But I want you guys to know, because when you know, you can make better, you can make changes. When you know better, you can do better. I want that for you guys. Your metabolic health, your physical health, and your mental health are all deeply connected. And so I want you to actually write these down. Take some time, pause this video if you need to, and ask yourself, why do you need to get your nutrition on track? What are the physical health reasons? What are the metabolic health reasons? What are the mental health reasons? I know that my nutrition and my mental health are deeply, deeply connected. When I don't eat well, when I skip workouts, my mental health, my emotional health is not good. And so I know that I have to take care of my body so that my mind works properly. I can process, I can do all the things out there that I need to do. I'm very mindful, I'm very conscious of that, and very connected to that. And that guides me all the time. I know my why. And then another question is, who needs you to get your nutrition on track? Who needs you to be healthy and strong? Right? My kids need me. My husband needs me. They need me to be at my best. And I'm at my best when I'm eating well and I'm taking care of my body. I know that. And so I do that. But again, there's a lot more to it than just knowing it. A lot of people know it and they still don't do it. A lot of people really know it deeply, but they still don't do it. So stay with me. But this is one of the steps, is knowing your why, knowing who needs you to be at your best, right? These are high performance habits. High performers, like CEOs, athletes, people at the top of their game, they deeply know why. They are very clear about why, and they know who needs them to be at their best. And that why should really pull you, and you should reconnect to it daily. And that will help you bring in that frontal cortex and get you out of autopilot and begin to rewire your brain. Okay, really powerful. So take a moment, think, and write out all the reasons why getting your nutrition on track matters. Very powerful strategy to begin to rewire your brain. Okay. And then number 2 piece of this strategy of getting to know yourself is to know where you are stuck and what hasn't been working for you in the past long term, right? Things work short term, but then you fall off track, right? So like make a list for yourself, because radical self-awareness is a superpower. If you don't know where you're stuck, you can't fix it. It's like I work with people and every weekend they fall off track, and then everyone just cheers them. Oh, just get back on track, just get back on track. And as a coach, it's like, no, I want to review, why did you fall off track? What's happening? What happened? How did you eat during the week? Like, we really want radical self-awareness without judgment, but with curiosity. We want to study ourselves so that we can improve ourselves. If we just keep doing the same thing, diet, fall track, diet, fall track, diet, fall track, you're never going to move forward and get out of that cycle. But you have to pause and have radical self-awareness. Where do I keep struggling? Where am I struggling, right? What's going on for me? So I want you to, if you don't know why or where you're stuck, you can't get unstuck. And another restrictive diet won't work. It's like starting again every Monday, just every Monday, without reviewing why you keep falling off track, having any idea what's going on. So I want you to make a list of all the things you're struggling with and the things you have tried that have not worked, right? Here's one of my clients. She said that I've been seeing a nutritionist for years. I've been to Weight Watchers, OA, Jenny Craig, keto, paleo, all these other diets that I've never heard of. And again, they all focus on the food, the calories, the points, the tracking, right? But never, ever have I addressed the reasons why I ate the way I did. This course has been life-changing. I feel the emotional weight coming off as the physical weight is coming off as well. Grace is filling the empty spaces. So we really look at, am I emotionally eating, right? Do I undereat during the day and then binge eat at night? Am I eating my emotions? I like keep eating no carbs and then binging? Like, try to analyze what's going on a little bit for you. And then, this is something that we work on in coaching. We really study this, like, what's going on for you? And like she said, I've never addressed the reasons why I ate the way I did, why I restricted the way I did. What's going on deeper for you? Really powerful stuff. Okay, so take some time to do that. Strategy number 2, deeply understand that diets do not work. Okay, I'm going to reiterate this. We talked a bit about the restriction binge cycle, but I want to go a bit deeper into it. It's real important because diets are so sneaky. They pull you back over and over and over again, but they never work long term. We know this from the research. 97% of dieters regain the weight they lost within 1 to 5 years. And every time you lose some weight on a restrictive diet, and then you gain it all back plus some, you have caused further damage to your hormones and your metabolism, because your body uses muscle to fuel the systems and the cells in your body. And when it's using muscle, that means you're losing muscle, which is your metabolic furnace. So when you go to it, and so you downgrade metabolism, you're burning muscle as fuel. Yeah, you're burning some fat, but you're also burning muscle and losing muscle, which will actually downgrade your metabolism. So you fall off track, and then you eat, like, your metabolism slower, and then you end up gaining even more and more weight with a slower and slower metabolism. And that's the problem with those. And diets, they're not teaching you anything. And a few more other dieting facts is that 1 in 4 dieters will go on to develop an eating disorder. Diet culture not only encourages disordered eating, it praises it. Up to 30 million people in the United States are affected by an eating disorder. And of those, only an estimated 10% receive treatment. Studies have found that the majority of people with an eating disorder are not diagnosed. They do not receive treatment. Eating disorders are the second most deadly mental health illness, and we should be raging about this. But the fitness and nutrition industry is blindly pushing eating disorders on people. Optavia, is that what it's called? Been doing a lot of research on that diet, and it's basically like you're paying for an eating disorder. And everyone's cheering and selling this to one another. And that makes me really upset, because women's health is just important to me. And I just work with so many women struggling, and it sucks. 35% of occasional dieters progress into pathological eating disorders, and 25% progress into full-blown eating disorders. Restriction is the biggest driver of binge eating and weight gain. Binge eating is the #1 disordered eating diagnosis, but restriction is the biggest driver. Like, it's no wonder binge eating is the #1 eating disorder, because all diets are focused on restriction. Restriction leads to binge eating and then weight gain, because restriction decreases the metabolism, right? Decreases the muscle mass, decreases the metabolism. You can't stay on it. You eat tons of it, and then you end up gaining weight. It also leads to food obsession, orthorexia, which is like an obsession with healthy eating. So it's like the opposite end of the spectrum, and it leads to misery. And this affects every area of your life. Disordered eating can look different for different people and can include a variety of unhealthy behaviors related to food and body image. Common behaviors associated with disordered eating include restrictive eating, binge eating, purging, overexercising, and using diet pills or laxatives. So trying to run off your bad diet, there's something going on there, right? We got to address the nutrition the proper way, okay? Very controlled, healthy way. Additionally, disordered eating can also involve a preoccupation with food, with body image and weight, as well as feelings of guilt and shame related to eating. So that cycle is not good. We got to get out of that cycle, right? The women I work with are stuck in the cycle, and stuck with so much of this. And again, never reaching out for help. And for most people, it's like, who do I even reach out for? Like, what else do I do besides restrictive diets to get this weight under control? And that's where we get stuck in this cycle. I can help you with this. Okay, this is what I do. Dieting causes perfectionism, all in, all out mentality. It puts impossible rules on you. It just perpetuates negative self-talk and body blaming. It sets you up to fail over and over again. It makes you the problem when the diet and the restrictions are the problem. It doesn't teach you anything about food. It only tells you to restrict. And it focuses on weight loss at all costs. We have to break out of that cycle. And what I teach my people is to go, like, if that's you, your brain is wired for dieting. Okay, your brain has been influenced and it's wired for dieting, which is why you always go back to those same old things that don't work. It's like, you know what to do and you're not doing it. You're doing the opposite because that's the way your brain is wired for dieting. I want to wire your brain for getting fit, lean, and strong. Remember, I have a fitter, leaner, stronger brain. That's why I don't struggle with this. It's why this is easy for me. This is what I want for you. So dieting simply means a lower number on the scale. It focuses on cutting restrictions and dieting. It's a goal that causes a great deal of negative emotion and body shame. It's obsessing over excessive cardio. It leads to muscle loss, which downgrades your metabolism. It leaves you exhausted, at risk of injury, hangry, and unhappy. It gives you short-term results at best, and it's unsustainable and disempowering. That's diet brain. Then we have fitter, leaner, stronger brain. When you shift your focus from dieting and restriction and weight loss to getting fit, lean, and strong, things shift. So getting fit, lean, and strong means improved body composition, focuses on nourishing and fueling your body. It's a goal that leads to increased energy, body confidence, and empowerment. It utilizes strength training and the right amount of cardio. It focuses on building lean muscle, which increases metabolism. It sets your body up to effectively burn fat all over and feel amazing. And it gets you a fit, strong, and healthy body that you can maintain and feel incredible in for life. That's what I want for you guys. That's how I help people. That's the subconscious rewiring that we have to do. We have to take you from dieting and struggling to getting fit, lean, and strong, nourishing and fueling, right? Taking care of that body. And again, that's the diet brain, right? Takes us back to, like, if this is you, right? This all applies to you. This kind of brings it all together, right? And we want to stop this cycle. The only way to stop this cycle is to do this brain rewiring and brainwash you, I always say, to build a fitter, leaner, stronger brain. It's a completely different approach. And here's Kristen. She's a mom of 4 in her mid-40s. She's a best-selling author and entrepreneur. She struggled with food her whole life. She tried every diet under the sun, and they all worked for a bit until they didn't. She was stuck and decided to work with me to increase her metabolism and set her body up to get fit, lean, and strong. I taught her, she was like, done dieting. I don't want to diet anymore. Teach me a better way, because I'm sick of this, right? I taught her the Deeply Nourished method, and we combined the nutrition strategies with effective strength training, and her results were staggering. Actually, it's crazy. Her results are crazy. But again, those aren't 30-day results. These also aren't 90-day results. There's years in between these photos. So I'm not going to sugarcoat and pretend this is a 90-day transformation. That's diet culture. That's unrealistic. It's not true. And I don't want to set you up. These pictures are years apart, but she did the work and she stayed with it, and she doesn't yo-yo in her weight. She's sustainably making changes over time, and slow, steady change is your best change. And that's change that doesn't go back, because not only has she changed her body, she's actually changed her mind. She's rewired her subconscious. This is just who she is now because of the work that she's done to become this new woman. Change happens from the inside out, truly. Okay. So here's a few things that she said. The system is the only thing that straightened me out. It has made it so much easier to do the best things for my health and fitness. The negative self-talk about my body and food has been silenced. You truly changed my life in endless ways. Yes, I did the work, but before I met you, I was wandering down the wrong path. I'll never forget how you've helped me reach my goals. And another one, she says, for those of you who will be making resolutions come January, Carrie is the only one to follow, so you don't quit. 8% of resolutions are successful. She taught me how to eat without restriction, but in a macro balanced way that fires my metabolism up. She taught me ways to exercise that I love and feel great. She taught me I don't have to go to the gym for 2 hours a day, and you can have an effective workout in just 30 minutes. I learned that so many of us struggle with our weight because we really don't know how exercise, food, and mindfulness works, why restriction hurts our metabolism, and I'm grateful to her for teaching me. I'm really big on education so you guys understand. I'm not just going to tell you what to do because you don't know the why. When you know the why, again, that opens up that frontal cortex, that facilitates the brain rewiring, the subconscious reprogramming. And that's what she said she learned. And so when she learned, she was able to do differently and rewire, and she got incredible results. Could you imagine a life where you don't have to diet, restrict, or obsess about food, but still get incredible results? Like, yes, please, I want that, right? Is that, like, just imagine that, right? And can you commit to making the shift in your mind from wanting to diet and lose weight to wanting to fuel, nourish, and train to get fitter, leaner, and stronger? That's there we go. Brain rewiring continues on, right? Never thought of it that way. How interesting. Yes. Okay, strategy 3. This is going to be longer than I'd anticipated, but that's okay, because this is good stuff. I can't skip any of it. Strategy 3, to get your nutrition on track and keep it on track. This is going to help you get it on track. You have to learn to actually eat instead of dieting and restricting. When we think about getting our nutrition on track, we often just think about restricting, right? That's all our brain knows. But we have to learn to turn on that frontal cortex and learn how to actually eat instead of dieting and restricting. This is a big piece of my Deeply Nourished method. I teach you guys the macro balancing method. You want to eat to nourish your body and fuel your body, not restrict. So that's, again, that mindset shift, right? Mindset shift. Restriction leads to the blood sugar roller coaster. And this is really important. I know that a lot of women come to me with cravings, energy swings, headaches, irritability, craving sweets and salty without an off switch in the mid-afternoon or night. They've got brain fog, dizziness, shakiness. And during the day, these are all signs of slowed down metabolism. They're also signs of the blood sugar roller coaster. If you want a rocking metabolism, you have to avoid the blood sugar roller coaster, okay? When we're skipping meals, sorry, I'm just on a call, babe. I gotta let you go. Hello? Okay, send me a message. This blood sugar roller coaster of, like, this is where skipping meals comes in and not eating in macro balance comes in, and we're swinging all over the place, which has us feeling all these things. You shouldn't feel all these things. We've chalked all these things up to, like, aging and menopause, and this is just normal. This is not normal. When I was binge eating at night and then running 10K fasted every morning, trying to run off my bad diet, maintain my sanity, this is how I felt. I was training fasted, I was skipping lunch, I was drinking a lot of coffee, I wasn't eating enough, and I wasn't eating to balance my blood sugars. So eating to balance your blood sugars, learning how to eat, we must eat to balance our blood sugars, especially in midlife. Our body is very sensitive to stress and chaos, and that's what happens, right? We're all over the place. And for a lot of people, some people are not hungry at all. If you're never hungry, your metabolism has went, your thyroid has gone, and you've shut down your hunger hormones entirely. We need to reset that. Real important. If you're hungry all the time and snacky and craving all the time, I used to do this. I used to graze all day long. I was a sugar burner. This is you just putting sugar in your body and burning it all day. You feel like you're hardly eating, you're nibbling all the time, and your body's still storing fat because you're a sugar burner and your body's never tapping into fat storage. You want to become a fat burner. I teach my clients the macro balancing method so they can go from sugar burning to fat burning. I teach my clients to balance their blood sugars and get off the diet or off the blood sugar roller coaster. Okay. They don't teach you this in many other programs, but I want you to learn how to eat. And I teach the macro balance method. 3 macro balanced meals per day. So nutrition is really simple. Like, it sounds all complicated, and it is. It's a complicated hormonal process at the cellular level, but on the surface, nutrition is very simple. 3 macro balanced meals a day, balanced snacks if you're hungry, notice and rewire mindless and emotional eating. These are the skills I have my clients master. This is going to balance your blood sugars, give you back control over food. It's going to help you tune into your body and start listening to your body and working with your body. And this is macro mastery, okay? The macro balance method. This is going to balance your blood sugars and turn you into a fat burner. But you have to do it consistently. So that's going to be the next step. But this is how to eat, learn how to eat. Because eating the right food in the right balance for the right reasons at the right time is going to nourish and fuel your body while also balancing your blood sugars and powering up your metabolism. And we can do that without restricting. I've helped my people focus, my clients focus on balancing, on nourishing, on fueling, okay? Not on restricting. That happens kind of naturally. People feel better. They want to eat better when they feel better. Okay, so the macro balance method, a little bit more about this method that I teach in the Deeply Nourished method, is it is a flexible macro science, mindfulness-based approach. It's focused on real foods, it's focused on eating enough, and it's focused on eating at regular intervals. It works with natural circadian rhythms. It balances your blood sugars, it increases energy all day, ends cravings, and restores your metabolism. The macro balancing method is not tracking or counting, but it's macro balancing plus mindful eating. Okay, it's a beautiful blend of the two. And in this method, you learn how to listen to your body and work with your body. You will build trust back with yourself around food. You will get in control of yourself around food, and food will stop controlling you. It will allow you to stay on track anywhere, anytime. Holidays, going out, weekends, all of it. You will go from a sugar burner to a fat burner on autopilot. You will develop metabolic flexibility. Your body will start burning fat naturally. And it brings your hunger and fullness hormones back into balance. It's not intuitive eating, but it's also not rigid dieting. So humans don't like balance. We like extremes. It's also like really marketable when you're extreme. Balance is like hard for people to market, but that's what you want. That's what this is. It's a balanced approach. Okay. Intuitive eating is wonderful. And it's about eating what you want and when you want it, and don't have any food rules. And there's a place for that. Sure. But I think I want to be fit, lean, and strong. So I do need some kind of nutrition science to guide me. But it's not rigid dieting either. Cut everything out, count and track everything. Like, those are your extremes. What I teach is somewhere in the middle. I use the macro science. I also use some of the intuitive eating principles, and we blend them together, right? Control and rewire, or notice and rewire mindless and emotional eating. More mindfulness. Notice your habits. Notice your emotional eating. Notice when you're just grabbing things on autopilot. Start to pay attention. We're going to work between those, okay? The macro balance method is designed to help you work with your physiology, but in a very mindful and intentional way to optimize your physical, metabolic, and mental health, not work against it, okay? When the goal is fitter, leaner, stronger with a powered up metabolism, you need to blend the science of macros, female physiology, and metabolism with a flexible approach that you can stick to forever. That's what I teach you. That's what the macro balance method is. Again, it's not intuitive eating, because we want to be fitter, leaner, and stronger. You don't get fitter, leaner, and stronger just breaking all food rules and not doing anything, but you also don't get there being super rigid. We've got to be in the middle. We've got to be balanced. That's, again, my favorite thing to teach people, is how to do that. In the Deeply Nourished method, you are going to get tons of recipes to help you with. I don't give meal plans, because no one sticks to them. They don't teach you how to eat. I want to teach you how to balance your plate. balance your meals, tune into your hunger, balance your snacks, how to put together plates when you're out, when you're in holidays, how to eat, have treats, but stay mindful and in control, right? That's what we work on. So I don't give you meal plans, but I give you tons of recipes that you can choose from that are macro balanced, that show you kind of what a macro balanced meal and snack looks like. And of course, we focus a lot on protein without counting and tracking, but a lot on protein. It's a really important macro for women, especially over 40 in that perimenopause, menopause time zone, so that we're not losing muscle and declining our metabolism even further. We must be eating enough protein and strength training to build that muscle, to maintain that muscle. So we've also got an extra protein-packed recipe guide in the program. And so this is Mandy, and she's mid-40s, full-time working mom of 3. She was running, but struggled with emotional eating, mindless eating, restrict, binging, and food in general her whole life. So 1 foot on the gas, running a ton, 1 foot on the brake, struggling with nutrition. It's really hard to get anywhere when you're doing that. And she tried every diet under the sun. And again, just like Kristen, they all worked for a little bit until they didn't. She was stuck, and she decided to join the Deeply Nourished method to get her nutrition on track. She did the deep work, mastered her macros, rewired her brain, got in control of her emotional eating, and her results are incredible. And again, there's a big time difference between these photos. I do not want to make you think that this will happen for you in 90 days. It doesn't. But you have to start. You have to learn. You have to begin the rewiring process. You have to fall off track and learn to get back on track. That's what Mandy did. And she's been doing it and staying with it. And again, the changes, she doesn't have big swings in her weight because she's consistently improving slowly over time. And her changes are permanent. She's different from the inside out. She's no longer dieting Mandy. She's fitter, leaner, stronger Mandy. That's different. That's the work that she's done in the program. Okay. Strategy 4, you have to rewire your brain around food, and you have to reprogram your subconscious patterns. So kind of been talking about this the whole time, but we're going to go a little deeper in here. Again, remember, 95% of your day is generally run on autopilot. We just go and go and go, and our brain doesn't want to think. It doesn't want to make decisions. So it runs on autopilot 95% of the time. And if you think about what are your current thoughts and beliefs about food, and what emotions does that create inside of you? This is on autopilot, right? Your current thoughts and beliefs are on autopilot, okay? Most people are anxious around food. They fear food. They're scared of food. They feel like it's hard. It's complicated. It's, right? I think that food's easy, delicious, fuels my body, right? Very different energies, very different thoughts and beliefs, very different energies. And if you think that food is hard, complicated, and you're scared to eat, your emotions are heavy and negative. Your thoughts and beliefs create your emotions, and then your emotions are what dictate your actions or inactions, which is what gets you the results you have. So if you think food is hard, complicated, and you're scared to eat, your emotions are going to be heavy and negative about food. You will end up dieting and struggling in procrastination mode, emotionally eating, skipping meals, going back to the diet cycle over and over and over on autopilot, right? You get stuck in that loop on autopilot because your thoughts and beliefs are subconscious. That's your programming. My programming is not like that. My programming is food is good, delicious, easy. I love it. So my emotions are light and positive about food. And so I make the food and I eat the good food and I get the results I get. And so we have to understand this connection of your subconscious thoughts and beliefs, how that affects your emotions, your actions, your inactions. And that's what's driving your results subconsciously, 95% of the time. So I said I wasn't going to eat the chips and I ate the whole bag. Said I wasn't going to have any wine tonight and I had 3 glasses. It's like I wasn't even there. I just did it. And you aren't. You're in subconscious. You're in subconscious mode. Your brain does not want to think. Doesn't want to make decisions. It just works on autopilot. It's crazy, right? Right. And so much of these thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and actions are subconscious. Most people live 95% of the day on autopilot, letting their subconscious programming run the show. So if this is you, it's because your subconscious programming is running the show, right? That's why you're stuck in the same patterns over and over, the same bad habits over and over, right? If you want to get your nutrition on track and keep it on track, you must rewire and reprogram your subconscious diet brain. Okay, that has to be part of the program. It's not just about the food. This is in the other 80%, right? You got to learn how to do this. You've got to reprogram to build a fitter, leaner, stronger brain. In Deeply Nourished, we use the FLS, the Fitter, Leaner, Stronger Food Peace Protocol, and we begin to rewire our thoughts and our beliefs about food so that we can shift our emotions, we can shift our actions, and then we can shift our results. Most people think when they want to make change, they go straight to action. Action is thinking about the food, what to eat, what not to eat, how many macros, how many calories, that's the food. But if you don't go higher and work on your brain, your thoughts and beliefs, you're always stuck because you go back to autopilot. If you want different results, you have to think different thoughts and believe different things. That's where this comes from. You can't just focus on the food. This is why people get stuck. So we got to go up the chain and work on your thoughts, your beliefs, start to notice your emotions and begin to rewire this whole thing. Okay. Because the food is easy. I just taught you it. The macro balance method, simple. Why don't we do it? You know what foods are good and bad. Why do you still eat them? Because we're on autopilot. Okay. Got to get on autopilot. So here's Diane, mid-60s, retired. She struggled with food her whole life. It felt hard and confusing, and just the thought of food gave her anxiety. She had tried all the restrictive diets. She always fell off track. She beat herself up and she stayed off track for months. She was stuck and she joined the Deeply Nourished method wanting more help, but she was so anxious and hesitant to join. I remember when she joined, she was just like beet red and just anxiety through the roof. Couldn't believe she'd signed up, but she also knew she needed to get her nutrition on track and she needed help. And so thankful that and so humbled that she trusted to work with me. And she went through the Deeply Nourished curriculum week by week. She did the Deeply Nourished Food Peace Protocol. She used the macro balancing method. She came to every call every week. She really did the work. Doing the work is part of the subconscious reprogramming. Okay, so she did that. And her results, I can't stress enough how much the transition has changed me. In the beginning, I was so uncertain, but once the retraining of our brain begins, the mind shift is just so freeing and life-changing in so many areas. I'm so excited for the impact it has already had on me, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. It's amazing the simplicity of it all once the dots connect. I absolutely love that you were doing this for us. It not only impacts us regarding our nutrition, but it trickles into all other areas of our life. And that's where I said, when you struggle with food in your body, you generally struggle in other areas. And when we can help you with food, and then I also help you with the relationship with your body and the program as well, that and the relationship with yourself through helping you get in control of your nutrition, get your nutrition on track. It overflows into the other areas of your life. And this happens over and over and over again. Okay. So do you think that you have some subconscious reprogramming to do around food and fueling your body? Does it make sense where you could possibly be getting stuck? Okay, this is deep work, you guys. This is not easy stuff. It's like mind-bending stuff. But if you're still with me, the reprogramming has already begun because you're using this. We're thinking beyond the food. We're turning on that frontal cortex. You're becoming more deeply aware of yourself and your habits and what's going on for you, right? The more you know about yourself, the better you can be at making those changes. This is subconscious reprogramming already, okay? So let's move on to strategy 5 of how do you get your nutrition on track and keep it on track. So strategy 5 is you have to learn to be consistent. You can know your why deeply. You can have all the knowledge, the meal plans, the recipes, the methods, but knowledge alone isn't enough. If you can't stay consistently doing the things you know you need to do, none of the knowledge matters. Knowledge is only potential power. Consistency is a skill to be learned and mastered. And again, when we're thinking about getting our nutrition on track, we just think about the food and the action. We don't think, how do I stay consistent? How do I stay on track when life gets hard? How do I get back up when I have a bad day? We're not looking to study and master those skills because they're not super interesting, right? Keto is much more interesting and tracking your macros is much more flashy, except it doesn't help because you're focused again on the action. We've got to work on some of these other skills. Consistency is a skill to be learned and mastered. I'm a consistency master. And I love to teach others to be consistent. Okay. Diet and fitness culture tells you that you just need more willpower, more discipline, more accountability, more action. Always focus on the action. But again, to be consistent, doing the things, we've got to work on our thoughts and beliefs. We've got to do some other work. And that's where the consistency for life method that I teach inside the Deeply Nourished program comes into play. This is how you be consistent. I first teach you the Deeply Nourished method so you know what to do. That's very easy. That's actually maybe only 10% of what it takes to master your nutrition, to get on track, to stay on track. The rest of it's this the rest of it's this consistency method. And in the consistency method, you must learn how to master your emotions, right? Every time your emotions go off the rails and you fall off track with your nutrition and you end up overeating all the things, we got a problem. We got to learn how to master emotions. And that's a skill most of us have never been taught, especially when it comes to food, okay? And the relationship that our emotions have to food. So emotional mastery, subconscious reprogramming, which we're already been talking about in the last strategy, right? We've got to rewire those thoughts and beliefs. We have to have next level mindfulness. So that's bringing awareness, using that frontal cortex into the present moment. We work on mindful eating and just mindful living in general to get you out of that autopilot so that we can rewire your autopilot to something that's going to naturally help you eat better, but we must live with next level mindfulness. And then I teach self-discipline. Self-discipline is something I used to teach at the beginning, except if you don't have the subconscious reprogramming, the next level mindfulness, and the emotional mastery skills, self-discipline doesn't help. It actually makes it worse. It just is a tool for you to just continue to beat yourself up more for failing. But the thing is, you don't have the skills yet to stay on track. So it's hard to be self-disciplined if you don't have the stay on track consistency skills. And so I now teach self-discipline at the end, right? Fitness culture pushes self-discipline. Just be more disciplined, have more willpower, track, accountability, all that stuff. But most of us aren't ready for that. That's actually a really high level skill that comes at the end after you begin the subconscious reprogramming, after you increase your mindfulness and get yourself out of autopilot mode. Once you learn to really master your emotions, then we can start to talk self-discipline. And this is where the consistency power really comes in. When you master all these skills, you end your self-sabotaging thoughts and behaviors. You break those bad habits that right now feel impossible. You have a massive perspective shift, again, from restricting and dieting to nourishing and fueling. And there's many more shifts that we have along the journey in the Deeply Nourished program. And it improves your relationship with food, with your body, and with yourself. Okay, you become your biggest cheerleader. You become your biggest supporter and your best coach. Okay, that's how you're going to build consistency. And consistency is the only way that you're going to build that fitter, leaner, stronger, healthier body you want. It's the only way you're going to set your body up to increase your metabolism. And if you have the weight to lose, it's the only way you're going to lose that weight. Burn that fat. Being consistently doing the right things, working with your physiology and not against it. Okay, this is Stephanie. So I used to hate my body. I always fed her negativity, not realizing the damage I was causing. Fast forward to a year later, and I couldn't feel more love for myself. For years, I beat her up, not knowing her true potential. Now that I'm listening to her, loving her, and nourishing her better, my results are amazing. My body composition is constantly shifting. I feel so empowered and strong. I've completely ditched my scale. No more power. It has no more power over me. When your mind and your body begin to become aligned, it is such a beautiful thing. I feel like cheated myself all those years, but now I know better. I'm healing and growing for the better each day. And she used to run and not eat and struggle with food. And she came to me struggling, like, I've got to get this. Her first call too, just like, I'm so out of control. And she was just beating herself up, right? Self-discipline to the max, restricting, over-exercising, trash talking herself. And it wasn't working. And she went through the method and she learned the consistency method, the macro balance method. And she, in 12 weeks, like, a totally new person. And this has sustained her. Like, she took that program over a year ago when I'm recording this. And she just continues to get stronger and feel better in her body month over month since the program. Okay, so let's review, you guys. That was a lot. Take a breath. It's a lot about how to get nutrition on track, right? You thought you were just going to get a list of good foods and bad foods. And here you are reprogramming your whole subconscious brain. So let's review. We talked about the hustle diet culture roller coaster, right? The hustle diet roller coaster that is causing tons of stress and inflammation in your body, and how your body, especially over 40, hates this on, off, all in, all out strategy. Your body prefers calm. Your body prefers to be a sailboat on a gentle ocean wave, right? It can handle some, it's got some resiliency, but it prefers to be in calm waters. We talked about the hustle diet culture, or the hustle diet cycle, right? And when you go all in and you fall off track and you beat yourself up and you start again, and how that's downgrading metabolism, triggering systemic inflammation, causing hormonal dysregulation, fat storage, toxic relationship with food, exercise, your body and yourself, and how this is subconsciously programmed, right? You're subconsciously programmed into this. And you do it over and over again. That's where so many people get stuck with nutrition. We talked about the blood sugar roller coaster and how we got to learn to eat to balance our blood sugars, nourish and fuel our body. We talked about the 5 key strategies for getting your nutrition on track and staying on track forever, right? Strategy 1, get to know yourself. Strategy 2, deeply understand that diets don't work. Strategy 3, learn how to actually eat instead of diet and restrict. Strategy 4, rewire your brain around food and reprogram your subconscious programs. And strategy 5 was be consistent, learning the consistency method, right? So you can know your why. You can have all the knowledge, the meal plans, the recipes, the methods. Oops, sorry, that's not right. Where are we? That's the wrong slide. We're reviewing, and sorry about that, but I clicked on the wrong screen. So we reviewed the 5 strategies. And then again, we talked about the fact that dieting is setting you up for failure. Combining a simple but effective macro-balanced anti-inflammatory nutrition protocol with next-level emotional mastery, mindfulness, and subconscious reprogramming work is the most effective way to get your nutrition on track and keep it on track so that you can truly build the fit, lean, strong, healthy body that you want, okay? It's not just about the food. Food is like 20% of the puzzle. The other 80% is that deeper work, that emotional work, that mindfulness work, that subconscious reprogramming work, the work that you didn't know you needed to do, right? The work that you've never thought of. And that's why you're stuck, okay? So let's do a check-in. I want you to write down what has been the most valuable thing so far from this workshop. Again, so this is super jam-packed. I can only teach you the basics in this. I can just kind of give you an overview of what it takes to get your nutrition on track. I mean, I could just teach you the nutrition actions, but the thing is, I've done that before and you don't stick to it. So we need to understand the rest of this. And you really need coaching. You need more information. It takes time to reprogram your subconscious. There's things you need to learn to master your emotions and master your macros and implement it through all the ups and downs of life. But I want to know so far, what are some of the biggest, what are the most valuable things you've taken away from this workshop so far? Even if it's like, oh my God, it's not just about the food, right? I need to learn more than just about what to eat and what not to eat, right? And again, I said, this is for you if you want to go deeper. If you just want to talk about the food, I'm not for you, because I know that that's not enough. I can teach that. And for most people, that is not enough. You don't stick to it. Because if you did, you just know and you'd be doing it. I mean, you'd be fine. There'd be no questions about nutrition, but you're here and you're listening still. So there's got to be deeper stuff in there, right? So do you think you know what to do now and you can just go out there and do it on your own? Right? I've given you a lot of information. Like I said, this is like 10 years of me working really closely, and I just jam-packed it into an hour and 15 minutes of talking and teaching you. And there is a way, if you want to work with me and really get your nutrition on track, because a 90-minute workshop really, truly is only an introduction. The women who get the most incredible results are like, Carrie, I need more. Like, this sounds so interesting. I need more. I want to do this. I want to learn how to reprogram my subconscious brain and master my emotions so that I can get my nutrition on track and feel better. And so I would love for you to just take a moment and imagine a life, okay, free from junk food cravings, free from binge eating, where you can eat one cookie in control and not eat the whole bag. I want you to imagine a life free from the nutrition and the body struggle. A life where you're confident about what to eat and how much to eat. You had no more questions. There's no more confusion about nutrition. It's something that was just easy. I want you to imagine life where healthy choices are normal and natural and easy. A life with Beyonce level energy all day, where you have love and respect for your body, where you, when you look in the mirror, you actually like the reflection that you see staring back at you. Imagine a life free from tracking, counting, and stressing about food. Imagine a life in clothes that fit and feel good. And I want you to imagine a life in a body that feels lean, sexy, and strong again. Okay. And then I want, for those of you who are interested in learning more about the Deeply Nourished method, that is what I'm going to talk about next. So if you are like, I've got it, Carrie, thanks so much, I'm absolutely not interested, then I don't want to waste another second of your time. But if you're like, I need to hear more about the Deeply Nourished program, I need to hear more about working deeper with you, Carrie, how can I get this stuff and actually implement it into my life? And stay with me, because I'm going to talk to you about the Deeply Nourished method now. Okay. Now, this program is not for everybody. So the Deeply Nourished method is not for you if you want to stay focused solely on weight loss, solely on the scale, and solely on restrictions. Okay. This program is so much more than that. It's not a weight loss program. If you learn these, you have to learn these methods. If weight loss is your end goal, I get that, and that's fine. But this isn't a 90-day transformation weight loss program. I'm going to teach you the skills you need to get on track and be consistent, because that's the only way you're ever going to set your body up to lose weight and burn fat. Okay. So if you want to be obsessed about the scale and weight loss and restrictions quickly, this isn't the program for you. This is not for you if you're looking for quick fixes, fad diets, cleanses, or detox solutions. This is not for you if you don't want to learn anything new, if you don't want to dive deeper into learning, have deeper conversations. And it's not for you if you just want to do it alone. Okay. This is a group coaching program. We're going to work deeper together. This program won't work, I don't think, if you don't do the deeper work and be open and to come to the coaching calls. I think that is part of the subconscious reprogramming, is having the conversations. I know that the people who get the absolute best results from this program do the work and come to the coaching calls. Okay. And I know that's scary, and maybe people don't know what coaching is all about, but it is powerful. It is like the missing piece of most programs too. So this program is perfect for you if you want to seriously get your nutrition on track, if you were done struggling, if you want to learn how to master your macros, rewire your brain, reprogram your subconscious, and do the deep personal development work that's going to get you real and lasting results. If you are ready and keen to learn, if you are ready to do the deep work, if you are open to coaching, support, and expert guidance, if you want to build a fitter, leaner, stronger, healthier body that feels incredible, and it's for you if you want to be free from struggling with food. If you are done with this cycle and you're like, I am done, okay, that's what the Deeply Nourished method is all about. It is the only live coaching program that I know of in the industry for active women that focuses on combining the science of nutrition with the science and art of emotional mastery, mindfulness, next level behavior change, and coaching to build a fitter, leaner, stronger body that is not only feeling incredible, but is permanently changing your relationship with food and your body in the most positive and sustainable way possible, without dieting, restricting, or tracking a thing in a way that you can stick to forever. That's a lot, but that's what this program will do for you. Okay. Here's from another client. She said, I don't even bother with the scale these days, but my clothes are fitting better. My energy has increased and my hot flashes are barely noticeable. Do I get anxious thinking about meals, prepping, and eating? Not these days. It's simply protein, carbs, fat. It's way easy. Am I still avoiding the mirror? Swimsuit season and all things body related? Nope. Just bought 2 new suits so I can spend quality weekends at the lake. It's the little things I celebrate. No desire to snack, no feelings of being deprived, no pressure to be someone I'm not. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How does the program work? The Deeply Nourished method is composed of knowledge. That's the Deeply Nourished method curriculum, community, and coaching. And I find that the program gets the best results when we combine these three components, where you're going to build the skills to get your nutrition on track and keep it on track. You're going to get focused. You're going to build confidence. You're going to have support, and it's going to support consistency. Okay. So the Deeply Nourished Method curriculum, that's the knowledge. You need to know, you need to learn things. Okay. This is the step-by-step blueprint you need to get your nutrition on track and stay on track forever, so that you can get rid of those cravings, increase your energy, build a fit, strong, healthy body without counting, tracking, or restricting. Okay. It's a step-by-step curriculum. It's pre-recorded videos that you watch on your time. Then you come to coaching calls to talk to me about what you learned, what you're implementing, what questions you have, and you're going to learn and listen from other people. So the Deeply Nourished coaching is the next level expert guidance and help you need as you work through the curriculum and you begin to implement the strategies that I'm teaching you, so that you aren't out there trying to figure it out alone and disappearing because you feel overwhelmed. Come to calls. I'll help you. I'll help ground you, help you implement, help you work through obstacles, pull you back up when you've had a bad day. Okay. That's what coaching is for. It's powerful. And you're going to learn from other women getting coached and having conversations with others as well. Something very powerful happens when you realize you're not the only one out there struggling. There's other people just like you working through the same things. Okay. And then you get access to the Deeply Nourished community. So this is an empowering group of like-minded women ready to learn, take strategic action, get coaching, up level, and support one another every step of the way. There's nothing worse than working on strategies and then being in a bunch of diet groups where all these women are talking completely opposite language to you. Something very powerful about a group of women following the same strategies, talking the same language. And our community is next level. We just have next level conversations, next level questions. It's such a different vibe than all the dieting tribes out there, all the restrictive tribes out there. I don't have time for any of that. I only want to talk with women at my level. And so the community is really amazing. They're like, everyone's sort of a high achieving, goal-driven woman who wants to get her nutrition on track, who wants to learn, who wants to coach. Like, that's a very unique kind of woman. Not everyone wants that. Who wants to invest in herself, who does invest in herself and her health. Okay, so that makes our community and our coaching very unique. So what is the curriculum? There's 6 pillars to the curriculum. There's 13 modules where we teach it all. 12 modules, I don't know, I can't remember, 10, something like that. But these are the focus pillars, right? I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to master your macros and tame inflammation, because an inflamed body is not going to burn fat. An inflamed body leads to chronic disease. We've got to tame that inflammation. So you're going to learn how to do that. You're going to learn to liberate yourself from diet culture. We're going to study it more so that you really understand it and you can really start to see it out in the community and really block yourself from it, liberate yourself from it. You're going to rewire your brain, reprogram your subconscious. Okay. You're going to build that fitter, leaner, stronger brain. You're going to master your emotions, regulate your nervous system, so you're not eating on autopilot anymore. You're going to have pillar 5 is next level mindfulness. You're going to learn to really eat with mindfulness and live with mindfulness and really get out of that autopilot mode that is completely sabotaging you at the moment. And you're going to learn self-discipline from a place of kindness, compassion, and just next level self-coaching in the most supportive way possible. Okay. Because you have to be your coach. You're with yourself all day long. If you're being a jerk to yourself all the time, it's not very supportive. We have to have the right self-discipline so that you can become your own coach and be independent with this stuff. My intention is not to have you with me forever. My intention is to teach you how to coach yourself. I coach myself. That's why I'm so consistent too. So anyways, we're going to teach you that. Okay. You get lifetime access to the curriculum and it's on demand. So you get it. It's all in the website. You can watch it whenever you like at your pace. And you get it for lifetime. So I have people that work through it over and over again because different phases of life, demand, like someone just came back. She's like, oh, I had a really stressful period of life. And I said, well, okay, great. Go back to review macros. And she's like, I really need to understand my emotions. I'm noticing that when my emotions got really stressed, then I went back to old habits. And I said, okay, you need to go through master emotions again. So she's working through the different pillars again that she's already been through, but she's doing it again from a new lens, right? Oh, this is life that happened. Because we don't just learn and implement and understand. It's like we learn and then we implement, and then life happens and we study it and we learn and we get better. So you get access to this curriculum forever. That's priceless, you guys. Okay. These are some of the soft skills that you're going to learn within the modules and within the coaching. Coaching is where we're going to work through. Yes, you had a stressful period of work and you went back to all these old habits. Like, what do we learn from that? So these are the soft skills, I call them, that you're going to learn through implementation and through coaching. So you're going to learn how to get and stay focused, how to say yes and say no to different foods, how to set boundaries, right? How to feel your hunger and fullness, how to get back up after a setback, how to be coached, how to self-coach, how to motivate yourself, how to develop self-discipline, how to see and shift your self-limiting beliefs, how to shut off your inner mean girl, how to show up for yourself, how to keep promises to yourself, how to become your biggest supporter, how to manage your own brain and thoughts, and more. And these are the soft skills that you need as you're implementing to be consistent. Okay, these are so powerful, these soft skills, and they're all in there for you. If you don't master these skills, nutrition is going to be hard forever, and you're going to struggle forever. Okay, so you're going to get access to the Community for Life. It's a Facebook community. You're going to get access to that for life, and you're going to get 12 weeks of live online group coaching. So we meet in a Zoom meeting every week. We have calls, and you're going to get 12 weeks of live coaching. So you're going to work through the modules at your pace. You've got the Facebook group to check into, ask questions, share your wins, and then you've got coaching calls to come and talk to me, to ask me questions, to listen to other people and listen to other people get coached. That's really powerful, because when you see other people asking questions and you see other people getting coached, you're like, oh yeah, I can see it in them. I never saw it in myself that way, but it also helps you learn. It also helps you feel less crazy because other people are struggling with the same things you are. That was one of my biggest revelations when I did my first coaching program. I was like, I'm not crazy. Like, other people are struggling with this too. And that was so empowering. And you build really amazing friendships and get to know people, which is really fun. You're going to get all my macro balance recipe guides and access to our extensive nutrition resources library. So you're going to get all the recipes you need, all the resources you need. So you don't have to spend time Googling around. I'm also going to teach you how to find the resources that you need too. So that's a really powerful skill, so that you can sift through some of the BS stuff and just get the things you need. When you join right now, watching this workshop, you're also going to get these bonuses. So bonus 1 is the protein power guide. Protein's real important for women as in midlife. Most of the women who train with me and join this program are over 40, and our hormones are shifting, and we're set up to lose muscle unless we're training and eating to maintain and build muscle. It's really important to keeping that metabolism up. So we've got to make sure we're getting enough quality protein. And so in this guide, you're going to really learn about protein. You're going to learn to calculate and customize your unique protein intake for your goals. You're going to full protein food list, sample meal ideas, and 15 ways to increase your protein. You're not going to have to counter track, but you are going to learn to focus on protein. Make sure you're getting enough protein in the right doses, in the right intervals throughout the day. I'm going to teach you deeply how to do that. Hitting your protein goals is just so powerful. It's just awesome when you get your protein on. Okay. Bonus 2 is you're going to get the healthy high protein soup recipes. These are 20 of my favorite high protein soup recipes because everyone loves soup. And then I don't focus on restrictions. There's no restrictions in the program. But what happens as people start nourishing their body and balancing their macros and balancing their blood sugars is they just feel a whole lot better. They naturally begin to eliminate the junk foods that don't make them feel good. And one of the things people begin to eliminate is the alcohol. And so they're like, well, what else should I drink? I can't tolerate that stuff anymore. And it's not because I said don't do it. It's because they're like, oh my God, I feel terrible because I'm feeling so good, nourishing my body properly and consistently that I don't want it anymore. And so I put together healthy and hydrating anti-inflammatory drink recipe guides so that you have some options that are going to nourish and fuel your body instead of inflame your body. So I'm going to give you that. Bonus 3 is my absolute best effective body weight and weight training workout programs to help you build lean muscle, burn fat, and get fitter, leaner, and stronger as you optimize your nutrition. So I've got a 16-week body weight progressive overload body weight program and a 16-week progressive overload dumbbell-based training program so that you can also be working out if you want it. This program is primarily focused on nutrition, but I want to make sure that you guys have the workouts and you understand how to combine effective strength training and workouts with this macro balanced strategy so that you can really restore metabolism and get fit, lean, and strong. Okay, so it's all going to be in here for you. You're going to have everything you need. And then bonus 4 is breaking bad habits mini course. We all have bad habits, and bad habits are harder to break than creating new ones. In this mini course, you will learn the science of how to break even your worst bad habit permanently. For me, it was the glass of wine at night. I could have it, but I didn't want to do it. It was very difficult for me to break it. And a lot of people have this with sugar or with something. So this is a bit of a deeper science on how to break the bad habits. I don't focus on breaking bad habits. I focus on cultivating, nourishing, healthy habits and rewiring your brain. If you got something and you're like, I got to break this because I really want to, this is the course that's going to really help you do it. It's very effective. And these are, deeply nourished results of people who came to me struggling with food, struggling with consistency, and they did the work and they got results. And I have tons of results. I don't ask people to do before and after photos. I really focus on the internal feelings, but people take photos and send them to me. So I share them with you because I know people like them. But again, it's not a 12-week transformation program. I'm going to set you up with what you need to get that nutrition on track and be consistent. And then you have to continue consistency to get results, and real results come slowly over time. They don't happen overnight. Okay. And I practice exactly what I preach. I want you guys to know that I didn't just make this up. I didn't accidentally start doing these strategies either. I've studied the science, right? I've studied female physiology, exercise, strength training, nutrition, macros, fasting. I've studied all of the things. And I've created a really effective program, a really effective protocol that works. It's not by accident. It's not because my neighbor did it and it worked. It's because I've studied it and I've worked with so many thousands of women that I know where women get stuck and I know what's happening. And I practice exactly what I preach. And I get fitter, leaner, and stronger year over year. And that is not by accident. That is because I'm doing the right things for my physiology, my female physiology in midlife. And I'm consistent. I do them consistently. I don't have the ups and down swings. I'm just consistent. And so it's easy. It's not a struggle. And I get fitter, leaner, and stronger every year. And I don't really see that. Well, it will change because our hormones are changing and we're all aging. And I'm prepped and open to that. But I'm just very confident that what I do is what my body needs. I only want to work with my body. I am not interested in working against my body. And if that means I need to switch and I need to shift a little bit, I do. And I have. And so this is the result of that. I don't just do something because I love it. I'm very strategic. I know that my lifetime goal is fit, lean, strong, and healthy for life. So I've got to know how to make that happen. So this is not accident. This is strategy. This is consistency. Okay. I hope that makes sense. And so what are you going to get? Let's just do a review. You're going to get the lifetime access to the Deeply Nourished Method core curriculum. You're going to get lifetime access to the exclusive Deeply Nourished community support group. You're going to get 12 weeks of live weekly group coaching with me. You're going to get the bonuses, the protein power guide, the healthy and high protein recipe guides, the complete strength training system, and you're going to get the how to break bad habits mini course. Okay. Total value of at least $8,500. And the regular price of this program of the Deeply Nourished Method is $997. But on this workshop, the workshop price is $497. Okay. So again, the 12-week group coaching program with lifetime access to the Deeply Nourished Method program curriculum and lifetime access to the group, the Facebook group with the 12 weeks of group coaching is $497. I also have a VIP option if someone wants to work one-on-one with me. So it's 3 months, you get all the stuff, you get the group coaching, the lifetime access to the curriculum and the group, but you're going to get one-on-one calls with me for 3 months. So 12 weeks of calls with me one-on-one every week. So I can just give you next level support and like privacy. That's what some people like. They don't like group coaching. They want one-on-one. That's $14.97. And I don't know how many spots I have of that open right now as you're watching this, because I only have so many spots open at a time. But send me a message if you're interested in the VIP option, and I'll let you know if I have any spots open. Okay. So as a result of this program, you will experience Beyonce level energy. You will have no more cravings, no more restrict, binge, and overeat cycles. Your inflammation will go down, You will be nourishing your body with confidence. There'll be no more confusion about what to eat or how to eat. You'll be free from dieting, counting, tracking, and stressing about food forever. There'll be like no more stress about food. You'll have a new level of respect and love for your body and all she does for you. You'll have an improved mindset that you never knew was available to you. It'll be a new way of life. You will trust yourself around food in any situation. You will be metabolically healthier than you've ever been in your life. And you will stick to these habits with ease. You will have food freedom, a powered up metabolism, permanent fat loss, and a fitter, leaner, stronger, healthier body that feels incredible. That is fully available to you, right? Remember, this program works 100% of the time if you do the work, okay? No woman has to struggle with food. I just don't believe that. I believe food is simple. I don't think that any woman has to struggle confused about food. No woman has to feel stuck, overweight, overwhelmed, unheard, or drained anymore. This program will change everything for you. You've done so much for others over the last years. Now it's time to focus on you. Your body needs to be taken care of, and your body deserves to be taken care of. It is time to take care of your body. If you are ready to start working with your body instead of against her, and if you want to feel incredible in your body again, then join me. Join Deeply Nourished. If you're in, we will get the party starting. We are waiting for you in the community. We are waiting to meet you and give you virtual hugs on the group coaching calls. This program is incredible. Okay, it's $497 when you're watching this right now from this workshop. And I would love to work with you. I would love to walk you through this program and help you through this program. And I'd love to reprogram your brain, brainwash you into getting fitter, leaner, and stronger, because most of that is how you think. Okay, most of that is just brain work. And I've got it all for you waiting. Okay, all you need to do is say, yep, I'm in. So I'm not sure where you're watching this, but it's either the sign up link is going to be either in the email or below on the webpage. Again, I'm not sure where you're finding this workshop. I've put it in a bunch of different places, but definitely find an email from me. If you're on the webpage, it'll be underneath. There's a pay in full option. There's a there's payment plan options. If you want VIP, send me a message and let's talk about that. And let's just get you started, because the longer you wait, the longer you struggle. The sooner you start, the sooner you end the struggle. And there's no need to struggle. I got you. Okay. Thank you so much for being here and sitting with me through this long workshop, because I talk a lot. Take care.